It is scary because I feel like these emotions are coming back because of how things are lately. So this time last year, everyone in my family had COVID, and this was before the vaccine came out. I felt so helpless because I was just here in my apartment, and as much as I wanted to be there, I knew that was the worst thing I could do. And then one day I just get a call from my mom and my older sibling, and they're telling me that my dad was on his way to the emergency room. It didn't make things easier for me emotionally, mentally. I always hoped every time I'd call, well, first I would hope that he'd answer, but then it was also scary to trying to see if he was getting better, but then also trying to prepare myself for him to say, I'm getting worse. I was trying to check in on my family at the house. I was checking in on my dad. I just felt not okay. And I knew at this point, people were talking about their loved ones having COVID and asking for prayers. And I just chose not to say anything because I didn't want to be reminded about how awful I felt and how helpless I felt. It was just tough having to think about it every time because that was all I could think about. I could hardly work. Throughout the day, I could hardly function. It's hard for your mind not to wander and go to bad places to think about the worst situation possible. I thought my dad was going to die. It's interesting how we spent Christmas because it obviously wasn't together like we normally would do it. So my dad was discharged from the hospital on Christmas Eve when he got back to the house. Everyone still had COVID, so it was just really difficult because everyone was kind of sticking to their own rooms. I was just thinking to myself, I'd rather us spend Christmas apart than jeopardize any of their health. It would just be too selfish of me to go see them just for the sake of being together on Christmas. That didn't even matter to me. It wasn't even a priority anymore. The priority for me at this point was just making sure everyone was healthy. And it really changed my mindset going forward to just how I think about your loved ones and how health really is so underrated. But what we ended up doing for Christmas was FaceTiming. Everyone FaceTimed from their own bedrooms. We made the best of it. That was how we spent Christmas last year. I wanted to do something to celebrate life, but also honor my family in a way. I knew I wanted to do something that was connected to my roots, my heritage, my ancestors, just my Peruvian culture. Around the same time, I think it also became an influence when I saw that movie RETABLO, which if you haven't watched, I highly recommend. It's an incredible movie. I eventually started doing some research and I thought of the idea of creating a customized retablo of my family to just have something to always remember them by. For those of you who may not know what a retablo is, it's basically a way of storytelling. So growing up, I always remember around the holiday time, my mom would always put a retablo, which is basically just a box, and it has 2 doors that you open up, but on the inside there's always some sort of religious nativity scene. So my mom would always put this underneath the Christmas tree. A retablo doesn't even have to be religious anymore. I've seen so many contemporary looking ones, and it can basically have any theme, and it's just telling a narrative. There's still celebrating not only different parts of life, but also containing that craft that Peruvians still have. And I know there a lot of them are based in Ayacucho, which is also where some of my grandparents are from. Another reason why I wanted to create this, so it can have some sort of connection to my roots. I reached out and I told this artisan that I wanted it to say Mi Vida in like some sort of celebratory banner, maybe some confetti, maybe some sort of thing, conceptualizing a celebration with each of my family members, including myself and my dogs. And this took about, I want to say, 4 to 5 months. So when this finally came in, it was a box, and I saw, from Florida, and I knew exactly that this was it. Today is the day that I get to finally take a look at this big surprise that I've ordered months and months ago. And this was commissioned by an artist based in Florida, Peruvian artist, of course. I'm opening it up. I was a little nervous because this is such a delicate, small box, and I was afraid that I was going to open it up and it was going to be broken and that all of this weight would be, a disappointment or something. Wow. So right off the bat, you can tell that this is so authentic, so beautifully crafted. The attention to detail is remarkable. Everything is hand painted, handcrafted. My heart's kind of racing right now. I don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. I open it and instant tears. I knew what it was going to be, but seeing it in person, holding it, I think some of my emotions came back to December of 2020 around Christmas time. It was tears of happiness. I love it so much. Just looking at all the small details. I finally got this thing that I've been waiting for. The anticipation was worth it. I can't wait to show my family this. 1, 2. I wanted to surprise my family. I wanted to show them, this cute little recuerdo. I sit them all on the couch. I tell them all to close their eyes. 3.
Wow, qué bonito.
They knew that I was recording their reaction. They start smiling right away. And then there's my mom. She knew she was on camera. She wanted to be over dramatic about it. But this really was like her seeing it for the first time. But her reaction was like, it looked like it was staged.
Oh my God, está precioso, mami, qué lindo detalle. Mi vida.
And it just looks so fake. But it is what it is.
Y justo en este aniversario del bicentenario de Perú, felices fiestas patrias a todos los peruanos y a toda la familia peruana. Qué bonito detalle, está precioso.
I am very grateful that I have this retablo with me that I can, show people. Hopefully, this inspires other people to give back to the community. There's still a way to honor the craftsmanship, the artisans in Peru. There is good things that have come out of this, and it really makes me hopeful. And this community has helped me out in so many ways, and I'm forever grateful for that.